I mean, back to back, you say, me meta, me. As mashallah, go
Okay, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to another impactful session. Mr. Otubu, welcome, sir. You can unmute yourself. You are a co-host, so anytime you feel like. So, I welcome you all again to this next session, and I promise you, you have a value for your participation. As you all know, today's session is in line with what is on Civil Service Commission course circular on promotion exercise. So as we promise that we will make sure that we cover all the syllabus on that, in respect of the promotion exercise. So we have not started. We still have another one, important one that you can't afford to miss again by 7 o'clock. Let me know if I'm audible. You can make use of your emoji so that I know that I'm audible. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So without wasting much of our time, let me quickly pass some information across, that the information you don't pay for. All right, thank you, I'm audible. Thank you. For those of us that partake in the yesterday session, and we have some lucky winner, but whether you are a lucky winner or not, as long as you are eligible for 2026 promotion exercise, and if you are on any of our channel, either Telegram or WhatsApp, we have sent message across. Please call the number on the message, go and pick your the general knowledge and current affairs for job and promotion interview pamphlet. Is free, courtesy the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria. They said, no, you should all be passed, get to the next level. They are trying tirelessly to make sure that everybody are comfortable in this upcoming promotion exercise. And we say a very big thank you to them. Please don't forget, call the number on our that we sent to Telegram channel, WhatsApp channel to grab your copy. Yes, as we promised, before we start today's section, please don't write on the screen that we remove you. We are not a baby. I'm begging you. Respect. If you don't respect yourself, I know that most of us are on this call to come and disrupt. If you know that you are not the enemy of progress, please and please don't write on the screen. Don't distract. We are here for a purpose, not for play. Kunle Ahmed, don't write on the screen. It's very easy to trace you in your office and give you a query. I'm telling you, I mean it. You can be issued a query if you disrupt us. I'm telling you, for free. We'll pick your name down and you can be issued a query. Note it, please. Like I said, please, we like to gear us up before we start commence any session. That make use of our channel, YouTube channel. Make sure you read. What Okay. I'm saying this so that we can allow others to join us. As long as we reach like 800, we'll start today's business. So like I'm saying, I'm trying to pass the information across. This evening by 7 o'clock, we are having a session on ESCO memo, strictly on ESCO memo. Tomorrow, we are having session on CBT and budget process. So you can't afford to miss it. Tell others, though we will roll it out as usual. On Saturday, we are having procurement law. Procurement law on Saturday. Okay, yeah, Saturday we are having procurement law and budget. While Friday we are having current affairs, general knowledge and current affairs, and a computer, CBT computer. So we are working tirelessly to make sure that you are there. We are waiting for you people to come back to this call and give thanks to God. Don't say because it's free and you just do anyhow. Though it's free, but you can get a query on this call if care is not taken. So don't disrupt us. Ask your question and wait for the response. On this note, we try. Let me usher in our facilitator, and I want you to complement the introduction with your emojis as usual, because it's not easy. And I give kudos to our facilitator because I always call him impromptu. I called him yesterday that, sir, we have to do this thing and you are the one that can do justice to it. He said, I'm busy, Jamie. I said, please, sir. He said, okay, no problem. Out of no time, he created the time for us. And for someone to create the time for us, and somebody now come up on this call and started disrupting us, I think the person need to be very, very careful. There should be a decorum. So once again, let your pen and paper be beside you. Let that pen be written pen. If possible, you buy the new pen. And I've told you, get your 40 leaves. It is important for us to buy book, but to read any book now, coupled with our job schedule, man, it is not that easy. Trust me. To combine that together is not that easy. That is why we are sending everything to our YouTube channel. Like I promised, it's because I'm very busy. I'm still compiling all the audio version of the session. I will send it across to all our channels. Trust me, you will get it. I slept late, and I'll be very happy to hear the good news so that I will know that, okay, my effort is not just like that. It's not in vain. Okay. I hope we are all ready. We are all set for today's class. If you know you are all set, let me see your emojis. Let your emojis keep on flying. Or maybe we should call it a day. All right. Perfect. Okay. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, so today's topic, mastering the public service scheme of service, 2000 and 2003 edition. This is very key for us to understand how we are employed to the service. So good afternoon, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to another impactful session of the Public Service Knowledge of 2026 Promotion Tutorial Series, a platform dedicated to building capacity, depending knowledge, and preparing officers across cadre for professional excellence in Lagos State public service. Let me bring to your notice that this program is in conjunction with Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, Lagos chapter. They came to our aid, called me that, okay, we want to expand the capacity of this so that everybody, all the participants, all the eligible officers can participate in this opportunity. So kudos to them. Let me see your emojis coming for them, for Association of Senior Civil Servants. So don't forget, they were the one that even give us dash out the book called Question and Answer on General Knowledge and Current Affairs. Is free. They gave us 100 copies to distribute to everybody, irrespective of your area or where you are. Thank you very much. So today's session is another important stop in our collective journey of learning and readiness for the upcoming 2026 promotion exercise. Our topic, mastering public service scheme of service, year 2020 and 2023 edition will have come at a better time. So the schemes of service serve as the career compass for every civil and public servant. It defines your cadre, entry qualification, promotional pathway, and inter-cadre mobility. As clearly highlighted in the Civil Service Commission promotion circular, officers are expected to understand not just own scheme, but also the relationship between job role, progression criteria, and service-wide standard. Therefore, mastering this document is not just about passing a test. It is about owning your career path and align with the policy that govern advancement in the Lagos State Public Service. Ladies and gentlemen, to lead us through this critical area, we are honored to have with us a well-grounded administrator and human resource expert, Mr. Otumbo Ebenezer Olugbemi, Deputy Director of Admin and HR, Lagos State Wastewater Authority, LOMA. Mr. Otumbo is a highly experienced officer with a deep understanding of public service system, administrative structure, and staff development. His practical insight have guided many officers in understanding their schemes, align their duties with state goals, and preparing effectively for promotion success. Ladies and gentlemen, with your emojis, please join me as we warmly welcome our distinguished facilitator for today's session, Mr. Otumbo Ebenezer Olugbemi. Sir, you most welcome, sir. We are like 500 and something here, and I'm seeing only 3 emojis. Why? Should we end the call? It's like we have know it all. It's not easy. Let us appreciate him. Let us appreciate him because we want to tap from his brain. We want to tap from his knowledge. So, Mr. Otumbo, sir, are you on the call, sir? Unmute yourself, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Once again, I welcome my colleagues to this interactive section. This afternoon, we want to look into the program and say an overview of the scheme of service in the public service. So the outline of this program, we are going to discuss what is schemes of service, importance and uses of scheme of service, schemes of service structure, cadres, designation, nomenclatures, and grade level, changes of nomenclature of cadres, elongation, entry points, and terminal points, cadres in the schemes of service, different movements in the scheme of service, federal scheme of service, state scheme of service, academic qualification, professional qualification, proficiency qualification. Firstly, we need to know what is the scheme of service. Why must we have a scheme of service? And why do we need it? Scheme of service is an official document that outlines the career structure. And the scheme of service, you will have your qualifications, entry requirements, your duties, progression paths for employees in the public service. What this one is talking about is that as a public servant throughout the Federation, our universities is being structured in a way that university will award first degree, second degrees, PhDs. And in as much that you want to work as a public servant, your qualification will determine where you are going to be placed. So if there's no scheme of service, it means somebody with BSc in Lagos can be placed on so-so grade level, while somebody with BSc in another state will be placed on another grade level. That's why we need to harmonize everything together. And that's why we have scheme of service, federal scheme of service. If you recall, presently in the state, we are using the federal scheme of service of 2000 and 2003. And one thing I want everybody to understand, I've seen a situation where someone wants to buy a scheme of service and is saying, I want to buy scheme of service of 2003, believing that what is in the scheme of service 2000 is the same thing that will be in 2003. You see, is in addition, 2003 is in addition to the one of 2000 because of some things that have changed. If you recall, in this service, there was a time we called the admin officer personnel officers. Now we call them admin officers. So if you look at when you call them admin officer and when you are calling them admin and human resource officer, there must be the scheme of service. So along the line, we will discuss about it. But the scheme of service have career structure, that is from one level to another, and the qualification that will determine your point of entry. And the duties you are going to perform depends on the cadres you have. So now, uses of the scheme of service. This scheme of service we are talking about, if we don't have a scheme of service, we will have issue. You remember that recruitment is a process of engaging an officer into the service. Recruitment is a process. And appointment is after you have scaled through the recruitment process. When you are doing recruitment process, they will ask about, because they will have made you to understand that they want to employ this so cadre. And your qualification will determine whether you are qualified for that cadre or not. So if there's no scheme of service, you will not know where you are going to be placed. So the scheme of service need to be available when you are doing recruitment and appointment. It determines the entry qualification for cadre. That is, your qualification will determine the cadre. Your discipline will determine the cadre where you are going to be placed, and the grade level where they are going to place you. And it will make you to know that you are given a qualified candidate to be placed in also cadre. And it will give a merit and fairness in appointment. If there's no scheme of service, somebody with BSc can be placed on level 12 without experience. Why in some other states they will place him on level 8? But since there's a scheme of service, it will determine your qualification, and your qualification at the point of entry will determine your placement, and that will determine your grade level, and your grade level will determine your salary. This scheme of service can also be used for promotion, career progression. It's the scheme of service that will determine how you can move from one grade level to another. It will discuss about what qualifies you. How can you move from one level to another? Is it by promotion? Is it by advancement? It provides a clear promotional or process of moving from one level to another. Training and development. Because the scheme of service discusses about the duties of each cadre. So if your duties is in the scheme of service, so it will allow the system to know how they can train you, how they can develop you on that cadre with that responsibility. And they always, the scheme of service try to standardize everything, ensure uniform rules across MDs. Not that these MDs replace admin officers at the point of entry on level 2. So the scheme of service will determine to make sure that uniformity, maintain consistency in the job role, promotes equality and fairness. And this scheme of service also uniformity and fairness, manpower planning. It allowed the system to plan, to know that, okay, if you are given an appointment to officer on level 8 and is going to level 9, is this officer qualified to be level 9? Because they are going to talk about the responsibility of an officer when you get to level 9. And it discussed that what are the qualities that you need to possess because you can be moved to the next grade level. When you look at the scheme of service, there's some things you are going to see there. You will see cadres. We have different cadres in the scheme of service: admin and human resource, finance and accounts, medical officer cadres, technical officer, procurement, and many. And it's also discussed about the post, that is where they're going to place you in respect of your cost. Somebody with OND, scheme of service will tell you that somebody with OND in, for example, biz admin, will be placed as assistant executive officer general duty, while somebody with OND in accounting will be placed as assistant executive officer accounts. So the scheme of service discusses about the post, and your position will determine your salary, because it talks about the grade level, and it discusses about the duties that can be assigned to you. And it's also discussed about the method of entry. That is, what must you possess before you can be placed as for example, as an admin officer or as executive general duty. It's also discussed about if you are given an appointment as admin and human resource officer, and you have obtained additional qualification and you want to advance to another officer's level, that you must possess the prerequisite of that level. So the scheme of service, you are going to see what are the things you need to possess, how many years must you spend before you can move to the next grade level. What's the process of moving to the next grade? Is it by promotion? Is it by advancement? The scheme of service discusses that as a scientific officer, your movement from scientific officer to grade level 08 to scientific officer 1 grade level 09 is by advancement. That is, you must spend 2 years. And scheme of service discusses that if you are given an appointment as a finance and account officer 2, your movement to finance and account officer 1 is by promotion. That is, you must spend 3 years. So the scheme of service discusses about you are going to have different cadres. When you look at the scheme of service, when you look at the 2000 scheme of service, you are going to see administrative officer. But when you look at the 2003, you are going to see administrative and human resource officer. They have changed the nomenclature. So it's the scheme of service that will make you to understand the new nomenclature. If you look at the 2000, that's where you are going to see. But when you look at the new one, you are going to see secretarial assistant. In the old one, you will see confidential secretary, but in the new one, you will see secretarial officer. So the scheme of service will allow you to get the right nomenclature. Now, we have the issue of cadre. What is cadre? Meaning a group or category of officers or employees who perform similar duties and share the same qualification and career structure in the service. We have different cadres in the service. And if you look at it, we have the planning officers, we have the finance account officers, we have admin and human resources, we have scientific officer, we have different cadres. But the scheme of service we discuss about your qualification that will determine, and it says, for example, for you to be an admin, the scheme of service says you must have a degree in social science, humanities, arts before you are qualified to be an admin and human resource officer. So the scheme of service discuss about the different cadres we have and your qualification, what you must possess before you are qualified to be in that cadre. And designation refer to what are they going to call you when you are that, or you are in that cadre and the grade level. For example, if you are level 10 as an admin and human resource officer, the scheme of service says that person should be called senior admin and human resource officer, grade level 10. But if you are an executive cadre level 10, it's principal executive officer 2. If it's executive, general duty in bracket. If it's audit, principal executive officer 2, audit in bracket. So in the designation, I have seen a situation where some people will just assume that executive officer. And I explain to them that you are not saying anything. That you are not saying anything if you just write executive officer. So when you look at the scheme of service, it discusses about the designation of each grade level. What are they going to call you when you're on the so-so grade level? We have seen a situation where some people in the letter of promotion, there's an error there, but they assume they are okay. Until when they're about to retire, that they now make them to understand that they need to go back to the ministry for them to correct it. So you must understand the designation and the grade level, because both are going pari passu. So you need to understand what is your designation when you're this so grade level. So the scheme of service discuss about the cadres, it discuss about your designation. It's also discuss about the nomenclature. Nomenclature is the official system of naming position in order to ensure uniformity and clarity and consistency in job title. That is, all the admin officer, they will have the same nomenclature. We are admin officer, but our designation is different based on the grade level. And grade level is the classification of a position in the public service. Your grade level will determine your salary. It will determine your rank or your status. And your grade level, your movement from one grade level to another grade level is scheme of service discuss about it and how many years you are going to spend before you move to the next grade level. Step is the periodic movement of an officer, which depends on his national day. Every year, we move from one step to another on our national day. Some of us don't even know that it's our national day that will determine our movement to the next step. And in the scheme of service, you will see that there's an elongation. Let's look at it. You know, there was a time where we have the typists, they move from grade level up to grade level 09. And later they elongate the cadre to grade level 10. Even in the health sector, we have a lot of cadre that they are stagnated to level 13. But now the terminal portion of cadre is the process of extension or lengthening the terminal point. In the scheme of service, you are going to see the entry point in service. The grade level, the position assigned. When you are given an appointment, your qualification will determine your entry point. And you are going to see the terminal point. Every one of us know as a graduate, when you join the service on level 8, if you are an admin officer, you join on level 8, then you can move to the terminal point, which is level 17. And we have some cadres, it's from level 6, executive. For example, executive audit can move from assistant executive audit from level 6 up to chief executive officer audit. That's the level 14. So scheme of service will talk about what you must have before you can move to the next grade level. And you can move from that level 6 up to grade level 14. So we have different cadres in the scheme of service. As defined above, as I've defined the scheme of service, there are close to 300 different cadres, above 300 cadres in the service. Though some cadres are also typists. There's no typist again. Operators, motor park attendants with you. There's the time we have accountant cadre. But now we have finance and account officers cadre. We have administrative officer, but now we have administrative and human resource officer. Before we have information officer, now we have public affairs officer. Confidential secretary have now been changed to secretarial officer. So it's in the scheme of service you will understand the nomenclature of each cadre. Some cadre that have changed. A medical record officer is now health information management officer. So if you don't share the scheme, if you are not used to the scheme, you may not know the nomenclature and what is actually going on. That's why I discussed with you when I was praying on about personnel budget, that you must familiar with the scheme of service and you must understand what's in the scheme. Don't just assume. So check what is the scheme. The scheme, you will have different cadre, the nomenclature of each cadre, the grade level, their movement. Don't assume that all movement is by promotion. There's some movement is by advancement. And every one of us know that advancement is a movement of an officer or movement of an officer from one grade level to another grade level on the same cadre. That's an advancement. So an admin officer, an admin and human resource officer 2, movement to the admin and human resource officer 1 is by advancement. And the scheme of service, if you look at the scheme of service 2003, it discusses about the movement. Then different movements in the scheme you will see by promotion, by advancement, and some is by conversion, which is the movement of an officer from one cadre to another on presentation of prerequisite of additional qualification. You will see in the scheme of service, we tell you, for example, if you're a technical officer and you are given, you join the service with ONG, electrical engineering, and you are given appointment as an assistant technical officer, electrical. Now, by the time you get to chief technical officer, electrical, then you will see the scheme of service tell you that if you want to advance or you want to be an engineer, you must have the following prerequisite. That is the additional qualification. Either you have current or we tell you have BSc in engineering before you can move. So there's a different movement in the scheme of service. You can move by promotion, by advancement, and by conversion. And the scheme of service we are using. So how did it come about the issue of this government? We have a body we call National Council of Establishment, in which all the state head of service are members, and the head of service of the federation serves as the chairman. That is where they are going to look at what is coming from different states. If this state is proposing that they want to have this cadre, that body will look, they always have a technical section where they are going to look into it, look at the cadre you are bringing, what's the effect of it, because they know that if you are given an appointment, for example, in Lagos State, either by marriage or you may want to transfer your service to Ogun State. So when you get to Ogun State, you won't have issue if we have the same cadre. So it is the responsibility of the National Council of Establishment to look into the scheme of service and approve cadres before they will allow it to be part of the scheme. The council will evaluate the importance of that cadre to the federating unit before approval. This process is necessary to ensure uniformity in the federation. That is necessary because all states must have, and it's possible for you to move from this state to another, from another state to another state. But The scheme of service must everything that is relevant. Though we have some cadres that are not relevant to all states. For example, in Lagos State, we have law enforcement traffic cadre. Up to now, we still have some people that when you see a law enforcement officer traffic, the name of most people call them is last man. Last man. Kai. That's the name of the agency. Last man is the name of the agency. The people who are working there, they are law enforcement officer. They are we have law enforcement officer, we traffic, we have law enforcement superintendent, traffic cadres, and we have law enforcement assistant cadres in the traffic. Likewise, we have the law enforcement officers environment, law enforcement superintendent environment, and law enforcement people that just assume calling them. If you look at all these mentioned cadres, they are only peculiar to Lagos State. You cannot see that one in the federal scheme of service. So we have some cadres that are only peculiar to the state, but not to the. But the federal scheme of service, the major thing that is peculiar to every one of us, you are going to see it in the federal schemes of service. So that's why I say that people should just ensure that why must we have scheme of service? What are we using scheme of service for? So you need to understand the way you look at the scheme of service. There's no cadre in this state that are not in the scheme of service. Though you may not see some in the 2000 or 2000, some of them are still in the circular. It's the compilation of that circular that makes them to be in the booklet form. There's no, for example, if you are looking at the procurement, you can only see that one in circular. You will not see it in the either 2000 or 2003. So we have some cadres that you will only see them in circular until when they try to compile everything together. It's like a circular being released from the office of from public service office. And start we combine everything together and they make it a booklet. So that's exactly what we have. Even in the local government level, they have their own schemes. They have the local government, but you recollect that we have a circular of harmonization. So there's some cadres that you look at it in the federal scheme, they have the local government scheme you look at. Even you will see there's some cadre in the local government scheme that are obsolete, that are not in existence again. There's some cadre because even by the time they review this scheme of service, you will see there's some cadres that they are going to remove and they are going to put some another scheme. But the scheme of service is a document that you need to know. It will expose you to know different cadres, to know about the point of entry, to know what are the prerequisites you must have, to know how you can move from one level to another, to know how you can do conversion. Which cadre am I moving to? What is the duties I'll be performing by that? Even if you want to go to school, as a senior officer, you can advise your subordinates what they must possess before they can be this. What are the this? So it's the scheme of service that will expose you to know the prerequisite to be on this cadre. What are the things you must achieve? What are the things you must have to be an officer of this cadre? So if you look at the scheme of service, it's a document that every one of us must have to understand the nomenclature, to understand the different cadres, especially those who are in the health sector. They have different cadres. They have different cadres. There was a day we are discussing that somebody was telling me that a medical doctor, and he's saying this doctor is a deputy director. And I explained to them that doctors, if you're a medical doctor and you're level 17, you are a chief medical officer. The scheme will not call you. You will not see where they are going to say director, medical. What you're going to see there is chief medical officer, level 17. And level 16 is a principal medical officer 1. Level 15 is a principal medical officer 2. While 14 is a senior medical officer 1. 13 is a senior medical officer 2. While 12, which is the point of entry, is medical officer. So you need to understand the nomenclature, not that you mix things up. You call somebody because director in level 17 is the director, has been a human resource officer, and you now assume that a medical doctor level 17 so will be director medical. No, the scheme will discuss about the nomenclature of each cadre, and we have some cadre that they are multidisciplinary cadre. For example, if you want to be, we have some, for example, if you want to be a law enforcement officer, is a multidisciplinary cadre. Is when you get there, you will be given a training, basic training. Irrespective of your qualification discipline, you are qualified to be a law enforcement officer, and they will now give you a basic training. So what we have some cadre that the scheme discuss about their qualification at the point of entry. That you want, for example, you cannot tell me that you qualified to be an engineer. So the scheme of service we discuss about your prerequisite, what you must obtain before you are qualified for this. So that's the responsibility of the scheme of service. So we need to understand how we use scheme of service, what can we find in the scheme of service, how we can use this scheme of service for the progress of our own. Mr. Jeremy, over to you. Mr. Jeremy. Oh, good.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for this practical, uh, insightful session, sir. Please let me see your emojis coming before we can start the question and answer. Stop writing on the screen. So, ladies and gentlemen, we say a big thank you to our facilitator for this eye opener. I believe most of us just employ into the service, you don't know how the process. So, in this case, I want to open floor for us to ask our question. Mr. Abidemi Badmus, your name your ministry, then go straight to your question. You have the floor, sir.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. I would like to thank our able convener and also thank the erudite admin and HR personnel. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you, Lord. Thank you for sharing this knowledge with all of us. My name is Badmos Abidemi. I'm from Ministry of Environment. I'm an assistant director. Praying to be a deputy director like you. So my question as regards CADA is based on CADA movement. What is the highest level you can attain before changing? Because we are aware in service that some people do move. For instance, law enforcement traffic cadres, they will sometimes move, or they propose to move to maybe environmental officers or scientific officers if they do have the prerequisite qualifications. What is the highest level that is permitted for them to move to their desired cadre if they so wish in service? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. See, when you are talking about movement, it has something to do with the vacancy. If you want to move from one cadre to another cadre, that's a conversion. That's a true conversion. And you must have the prerequisite of that cadre you are moving to. Then there must be vacancy for you. There must be vacancy for you. Because if you just propose, that is a personal decision to say that I want to convert from this cadre to another cadre. You show your intention. Where you are moving to, they have the parent ministry where they must have made provision for you. You have the prerequisite to move to that cadre. And we have seen a situation where somebody will be saying, when you are already on level, for example, you are a chief law enforcement traffic officer, level 14, and you are saying you want to move to be a chief scientific officer, level 14. It's possible that some ministry may feel that they don't think they are ready to accept you at that level, because at that level, they need experience. But if there's a vacancy for you and they believe they can train you, fine. You have shown your own intention, then it's not there for that ministry to say that they have a vacancy for you and they are ready to absorb you. But your movement from that cadre to another cadre, that's a conversion. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Mr. Bidemi, I hope you understand that. If not, you can still raise your hand. Sulaimon Okpeyemi, you have the floor. Your name, your ministry. Okpeyemi Sulaimon, unmute yourself. Okay. It's like Okpeyemi is not there. Good afternoon, Okpeyemi. Can you please change your location? Your background is noisy. Musaku Adetola, you have the floor.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Onosoya.
Good afternoon,
for your continuous working every time with us to ensure that we have a good, knowledgeable time before our assessments. Thank you very much, sir. And thank you, Mr. Otubo, for this lecture. Please,
your
sir,
name, your
my
ministry.
question, okay, my name is Adetola Mosaku from MOE, Ministry of Environment, La Sepa office.
Okay.
Deputy Director. Yeah.
All right.
My question is, I want you to enlighten us more on the difference between recruitment and appointment. Recruitment and appointment. What is the difference?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, is that your question, ma?
That's my question.
All right, thank you very much, ma. Sit back
Yes,
and
sir.
relax
Yes, sir.
yourself.
Yes.
Mr. Otubusa.
Yeah. You see, recruitment is a process of filling a vacancy. That is the process of filling a vacancy. When you are talking about recruitment, the recruitment process may be either by submitting your CV. It may be by writing an application letter. It may be by filling forms online. So the process of submitting your application, shortlisting you, that's the recruitment process to fill a vacancy. The process of shortlisting you, looking at your qualification, whether you are qualified for the vacancy, looking at your experience, doing interview, other interview for you. When you are talking about recruitment process, it may be either by submitting your CV, by writing an application letter, by filling a form, or by filling forms online. So that process of filling a vacancy, that's a recruitment process. So once you have been given an appointment, you have been shortlisted and given an appointment letter, that's an appointment. Now, you see, what normally happens in service is that you will see some people, when they're in the recruitment process, they'll be saying they have additional qualification, they are undergoing a course. All what you are saying at that recruitment process is not, it's not in the any system until when you are given an appointment. So you have been given an appointment. Appointment have two things: offer and acceptance. When you are passed through the recruitment process and you are given an offer, you need to write a letter and say that I'm ready to accept this. So that's when you are given an appointment. So process of filling vacancy is recruitment process. So once you are given an appointment, you start. For example, in Lagos State, when you are doing the recruitment, you are writing a letter, you are doing an interview, that's recruitment. Once you are given a letter of appointment, that means you are not Lagos State. So recruitment is the process of filling the vacancy. Appointment is when you have been appointed to fill the gap of Lagos State. So that's different between the two.
All right, sir. Thank you, Mr. Otubusa. But along the line, your network is fluctuating, so we couldn't hear you clearly.
Yes,
we are trying to decode what you are saying. I don't know whether it's happened over there to other participants, but that's what I'm experiencing. All right, I think you understand, Mrs. Mosaku, recruitment is a process, and why appointment is the name appoints that you have been choosing. It's a very simple definition. Recruitment is a process, and the appointment is you have been choosing. All right. Ekong Omawumi, unmute yourself. Your
Okay,
name
good
is...
afternoon, Mr. Jamil.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Otubu. I know I've met you sometime. I am Ekong Omawumi Folashade, a deputy director nursing. Sir, I would like to clarify or find out concerning the nursing profession. One, do we have one cadre or two cadres in nursing? Because sometimes somebody told me that it has been harmonized, the two cadres, whether you're in the officer cadre or the other cadre. So I want to be sure now, do we still maintain the two cadres, or are we now following the officer cadre alone? Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
What I know is that they have harmonized all nursing cadre to one. The nomenclature is only the nomenclature. Though we still have some people that they join the service as a nursing with RM, a registered nurse and a registered midwifery. And those people will be given appointment on level 8. But if you have a single qualification, you will be given appointment on level 7. Now, there's a circular that is, I think, 2019 that says if you have BNS, that's BSc nursing, and you did internship, your placement will be on grade level 10 now. And all of you will be calling a nursing officer. But those with RM, they will move up to level 14 as a chief nursing officer. But those with BNS and they did internship or they have RN, they can move up to grade level 17. What I know is that it's only the nomenclature they change, but your qualification will determine where you can move to, up to the level, to your terminal point. That's what I know. Thank you.
Right, Mr. Omome, are you okay with that?
Concerning that, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sir. Okay, to Mr. Otubu.
Try and get the scheme. If we
I know, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
But please, can I still ask a question?
A question. That is one question, right?
Yes, please.
All right, go ahead. If it is a
okay,
question.
Sir. Thank you so much, sir. So, Mr. Otubu, I'd like to find out again. For example, you know now they come in on level 10, grade level 10, yes, if you have your degree. Yes. But yes, somebody that has a degree coming in, but had RM, maybe went to Lautech or something, now has a degree, but never went for internship because they've had RM, their own program, for example, in Lautech, does not warrant them to go for intern if they've already had RM, and they now come into service. Because it's happened to one of my staff sometime, I had to tell her, I said, you are not supposed to come in on level 9. So I think she went back to Civil Service Commission, wrote and things like that. But I'm surprised that when she came in, she was given level 8. She came in with her degree.
What year?
Last year. Last year.
Somebody, but she was being told then.
Hello, sir.
I'm with you.
Okay. She was being told then that where is her internship, whatever, where is her NYC certificate, but with their own program. I think by that time, she had already passed the age of 30. And with Lautech program, with the abridgment program or something like that they don't go for intern.
Let me explain it to you. If you have BNS, you need to get a letter of exemption from NYC. And you attach, that's why I said 2019 circular says, if you have RM, you don't need to do internship. So with your BNS exemption letter and your RN, that officer is qualified to be placed on level 10. So when you have that kind of issue, I think you can see me. I will give you the circular. So you go there.
All right, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So much. Sir.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Mr. Otubu, you can send the circular to us too, so that we can share it with our member of the public service knowledge of, so that we can benefit from it. Okay, we call on Kazim Olalekan. Let's be conscious of time. Kazim Olalekan, unmute yourself.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, the facilitator and the
Good
convener.
Afternoon, sir.
I want to say a very big thank you to the members of the Association of Senior Civil Servants for the job well done. And to congratulate all of us who are participating in this promotion exercise. My question.
Your name, where are you? Where are your ministry?
I'm Kazim Olalekan.
Your ministry?
Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education.
All right.
Yeah, I'm on grade level 16.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, some universities run diploma programs. Now, the question is, are they the same as programs being run by all these polytechnic? Then are those diploma programs eligible for enlistment into the state public service? That is number one. Then secondly, the concept of nomenclature. When he was saying cadre, he related nomenclature with cadre. I really don't get the meaning, because to me, nomenclature simply means naming of something. I don't know. Maybe you can explain further. Thank you.
All right, sir.
Sorry, let me explain it to you. I think there was a circular that talk about the diploma issued from the university not be recognized.
Hello, sir. I cannot hear you anymore.
Mr. Otuba, are you still there?
I can't hear him anymore, sir.
Hold on. Maybe he's trying to get circular to the effect.
Okay, sir.
You know, this session has to do with public service through circulars and scheme of service, so that not misinformate, send wrong information across.
Okay, sir.
Hello, Mr. Otubu, can you unmute yourself from your end? Okay, yeah. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we are waiting for him.
Hello,
sir. Okay, you are clear, sir.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that the cadres, that is, we have different cadres. When we are talking about the nomenclature, that is, what is the name you are calling your process in that cadre? For example, in admin and human resource office, that's cadre. The name for principal admin and human resource officer is our level 12 is called principal admin and human resource officer. Why in some another cadre, when we are talking about level 12, their level 12 may be principal executive officer 1. So each cadre have their own nomenclature. That is the name they call their cadres. The people that were moved from one grade level, the name they call their cadre. And designation is the name they are calling you when you're on a specific grade level. Do you understand the difference now? Hello, Mr. Kazim.
So, Mr. Kasim, unmute yourself. Did you get that?
I hope you understand it now.
Yeah, I think he asked 2 questions.
Yes,
okay,
I've answered the first one.
Okay, you understand. All right, okay. Thank you, Mr. Kazim. Ruth Adesono. Unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Your name, your ministry.
Thank you very much. My name is Ruth Additional. I'm a nurse from Ministry of Health. Can you hear me clearly, sir?
Clearly,
I can hear you.
Okay, sir. Mr. Otubu, thank you very much for your clear lecturing. Mr. Jami, we appreciate your great work. Sir, thank you so much. Please, my question is not much. My question is, I would like to know what is different between conversion and advancement. Because it happened to me, they gave me a letter. I went for PMB, they wrote advancement. Later, they came to draw the letter and say, no, it's a mistake. They now wrote conversion. So I don't really understand. What is different, conversion, advancement? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. When we are talking of advancement, it's an upward movement of an officer from one grade level to another grade level in the same cadre. That is, if you move from level 8 to 9, after you have spent less than 2 years, that's an advancement. But your movement from one cadre to another cadre, if you have changed your cadre, provided you obtain additional qualification, that's conversion. But advancement is on the same cadre. But conversion is from one cadre to another cadre. That's conversion. So your movement from one cadre to another cadre is conversion. Your movement, upward movement from one grade level to another grade level on the same cadre, that's an advancement. Thank you.
All right, Roots, hope you understand that. Like you are doing promotion and you are promoted to level so advancement. Amunikoro Adebowale, your name, your ministry, and your question.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Amunikoro Adebowale, calling from Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology.
All right, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jami Onosoya, and the erudites, admin and HR officer in the house, Mr. Otubu. Thank you for taking us through this session. My question is about what we have learned so far in this forum, and it's like there is a confusion somewhere now. We have redesignation, we have conversion. For an officer that happened to be a law enforcement officer, and he has been there for maybe level 14 or level 15 officer, level 14, and he now think of, I don't want to be in last mile, I don't want to be in Kai again. Then that officer is making every effort to come to the mainstream by turning to a budget officer or a planner. Do we call that redesignation or we call it conversion? Because in most cases, many of them will have their BSc, but as the case may be, everybody needs job. They just took that opportunity then with the KAI or any law enforcement officer, hoping that as I move ahead with BSc, they maintain the BSc from that level. Then when they get to that extent of moving from level 14 to the full officer at the other end of the ministry, maybe a staff or planner or anywhere, what do we call that? Do we call it redesignation or we call it conversion? Because we've listened to something related to this earlier on this forum. Thank you very much. I need explanation on this.
Mr. Otubu, sir. I think we lost Mr. Otubu. Yeah. Mr. Adebowale, please be patient. I think
I'm still here, sir.
Okay. It's like network have kicked Mr. Otubu out.
Yeah, okay, sir.
So let's
it's understandable.
Okay.
I think, Mr. James, I remember, I think one of our guys that retired from Civil Service Commission within this, maybe around April. When he gave us lecture on this forum, that was when we gathered some information about redesignation conversion. And a lady asked a question the other time in related to that. And Mr. Ozubu was saying conversion, and it's becoming too confusing for us to get the full details.
Okay, but to my own understanding, your question now is different between redesignation and conversion, right?
Thank you very much, sir. Yes.
Correct. So to my own understanding, if you are talking of conversion, I think Mr. Otubu have do justice to that. Conversion is like,
from top cadre to full cadre.
To another cadre. Do you understand?
No. We don't use another cadre, sir. I think there is a nomenclature issue there.
conversion, you can want to convert, for example, from mechanic to officer.
Okay, so
it's
cadre
the
to
move
full officer. Okay.
from no, not to from one cadre to another cadre. If you have your additional qualification, like
additional qualification.
Okay, let me say, okay, like you are a clerical officer now,
Okay.
junior cadre. So you now go for your further study. You have your BSc. So you now convert. You now write letter for conversion from.
Okay.
Do you understand? From clerical officer.
Okay.
To admin cadre.
To that. Okay. Okay.
To seniority cadre.
Yes.
Do you understand that conversion? So,
Very
but when
clear,
you are
sir.
talking of redesignation, to my understand again, I remember that there was a circular, HS circular that came out. I don't know if you remember when. Okay, there was a circular then that sent out that people from House of Assembly. Let me use that for example.
For example, yes.
we have our officer, pool officer at House of Assembly. Then,
yes.
So they now said, okay,
yes, sir.
If you want to remain,
hello,
if you want to remain, okay, sir, I'm coming, sir. So if you want to remain at the House of Assembly, you have to designate your appointment to what they have what they call them House of Assembly. Something.
House of Assembly Service Commission.
Yeah, they have
legislative
officer. Yes.
Legislative officer.
So you designate from that your cadre to another. So, but let Mr. Tubu do justice. So the question at hand is that difference between conversion and redesignation. I think that's what Mr. Adewale was asking, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I think conversion is a personal decision. Why the designation is that the government instance. For example, when you are, let me give you an example. You know, there was a time we have people we call inspector of taxes. When you look at the scene, you are going to see inspector of taxes. And when they abolish the cadre in Lagos State, the government redesignate everybody. When you are redesignated, you are not going to lose anything. If you are due for promotion next year and government redesignate you this year, you will still due for your promotion this year, next year. But conversion is your personal decision, and you have obtained additional qualification to the cadre that you are going to. So that's the difference between. You cannot write a letter for redesignation. It's only you can write a letter for conversion. So it's that the government is trying to redesignate you.
Thank you very much, sir. Because I'm just trying to. Yes.
Hello? If there's an
error I can hear you, sir.
Designation at initial stage, government can redesignate you in line with your qualification and to be placed on the right cadre. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I'm just trying to clear the notion of the lady that has the first questions about the law enforcement officer that has been at a particular level, maybe around 14, and she asked, at what level can someone redesignate? That was why I was now thinking that without advert, can someone just redesignate? Thank you very much.
It's at the government instance. You cannot redesignate at the government instance.
All right, Mr.
Thank you very much, sir.
Mr. Adebayo, thank you. Okay, Mr. Shehu Okunu. I'm still coming to the chat box. Let me just clear the hand. Mr. Okunu, unmute yourself. Your name, your ministry.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, my name is Shehu Okunu, Ministry of Environment, Loma. I'm grade level 15. Now, my question, yes, thank you very much, Mr. Jamil, for hosting us. And thank you, my honorable friend, Mr. Otubu. Now, this question is about circular. Now, maybe I have to draw you back to then. I entered the service 2003. Now, there's a circular before then, 2001, because I was told that we scientific officer should probably do advancement. Are you with me, sir?
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yes, that we should do advancement. But we are not told then. So I have to spend 3 years on grade level 8. Can I still have the opportunity of a year, or I've lost that? Thank you very much. That's what I want to ask.
What I know is that movement of a secretary of a scientific officer from scientific officer 2 to scientific officer 1 is an advancement. But what I'm not very sure is that as at the time you said you joined the service in 2003 and you are supposed to be advanced, but immediately that you know you are not advanced at that particular time, you should have put up a letter. But what has happened when you are on the grade level? What has happened when you're on grade level 9 and you are now requesting for it when you're level 15? I don't think that would be tenable. Because let me chip in some things. It's your responsibility as a public servant to know your honor in the scheme and in the public service rule. Nobody will interpret it for you. As I normally tell people that public service rule can be used against you, and can use it for your request from the government. So what has happened in 2023, I don't think there's anybody that wants to look into what has happened when you're level 8 and now when you're level 15. I don't think they will be able to look into that now.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Abubakar. Abubakar Usman, unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name and your ministry.
My name is Abubakar Usman from Education District 6. So I just got an hint now that the CBT is not meant for the teachers. So I just want to confirm, is that true, or it's meant for only people in the office? Thank you, sir.
On that, sir, you can consult your commission. That is not, we can't answer that on this call. Olaseyinde, please let us ask question that has to do with this topic. Olaseyinde. Good afternoon, ma. Your name, your
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma. Your name, your
Thank you very much. All right, sir. My name is Omomo Olaseyinde Omolara, Minister of Health and Assistant Director. Can you hear me, sir?
Loud and clear.
All right, sir. And I want to especially thank you for this opportunity. May the Lord reward you greatly, sir.
Amen.
And to our facilitator today, Mr. Utubu, I say thank you very much. My question is just to distinguish for me I want the facilitator to distinguish between the dates of assumption and dates of resumption. I'm having a little itch in that area. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Mr. Utubu, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Utubu,
yes.
Sir.
Yeah. When you are talking of the date of assumption of duty, you know, the date you assume duty, that's the date you join you cannot have assumption of duty and resumption of duty at the beginning. The date you assume duty is when you are given an appointment letter, the day you assume duty, you fill the assumption form, that's the date you assume duty. Resumption, for example, let's assume you are on leave and you are coming back into the system, you have been on leave, your annual leave, coming back into the system, you are going to feel the form of resumption. You are resuming back into the system. But at the beginning, when you join the service, that's where you feel the letter of assumption of duty. You are just assuming duty. But when you are coming from leave, that is when you feel the form of resumption. You're already in the service, you just on leave and you are coming back. So you feel resumption form. So that's the difference between the two.
All right, thank you very much, sir. So I hope Madam understand that assumption of duty starts when you just enter the service. Balogun Maria.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma. Your name, your ministry, and your
Yes,
questions.
sir. Well done, sir. Yeah, my name is Balogun from Office of Political, Legislative, and Civic Engagement. Yes, sir. I would like to ask again about this issue of redesignation and conversion. I'm not so clear because I have a friend in one of my former ministry. He was a LASMA officer. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Yes, sir. He was the LASMA officer. I think he was on grade level 9 or grade level 10. No, grade level 9. So he was redesignated to an officer, to an admin and HR officer. So at a point, hello, sir, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
So at a point, after the resignation from traffic law enforcement officer to the admin cadre, he was now converted again. Like he has to go for conversion again, and he was stepped down. He was supposed to be on level 10, but was asked to remain on level 9. That is after 3 years. That he has to spend 3 years on that his present grade level before he can be
Okay.
promoted to level 10.
Okay,
So
thank you.
The issue of resignation and conversion, I'm not so clear. Though Mr. Otubu was trying to explain about it.
Let me tell you what happened. I think there is an administrative error somewhere there. And when they now get it, they do the correction. The officers that is moving from you're a law enforcement officer and you want to do conversion to be an admin officer. That's conversion. Let's assume it's the government that says they want to move all the law enforcement officer traffic, those who have the prerequisite of admin, they want to move them to be an admin officer. That can be redesignation. But if it is that officer that applies, that's why I said the personal decision. If it's the officer that applied that I want to be converted to be an admin and human resource officer, that's conversion. I think what happened there is that they redesignate that officer. And when they now realize that officer needs to be converted, that's why they now convert that officer and allow the officer to spend the years that he's supposed to spend before he can move to next grade level. It's not the government that said they should redesignate that officer. It's that officer that applied that he wants to be converted to be an admin and human resource officer.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Let me quickly run through the chat box. Olubumi Jagede, my question, sir. When someone is coming in from private sector to the public sector, are there consideration given to such fellow based on the level of experience he had acquired before coming in? For example, if he was a supervisor at the former employment, I feel he should be considered for an equivalent cadre at the point of entry into public service. Please share light on this, sir.
Yes. If an officer is coming from the private sector and you are coming to the public sector, there's something we call PMB recruitment. At that level, they are going to appraise that officer. They want to know about your experience because the cognate experience is recognized in the scheme. So when they appraise the officers, They ask about your cognate experience. Your cognate experience, your qualification will determine where they are going to place you. If, for example, for example, you are coming from a public sector, from the private sector, and you're a salesman, you have BSc Economics, and you want to join the service, and they want to appoint you as an admin and human resource officer, your cognate experience as a salesman may not be needed in the service, and so because of that, they may not recognize that cognate experience. So it's a discretion of the PMB to know whether your qualification, your experience is recognized and is needed in the system. That's why you need to face PMB, and they are going to ask you some questions to know whether they need you or they don't need you.
Okay,
thank you very
well
much.
taken, sir. Thank you, sir. I hope Oluwejegede understand that. Fatima Taufik, good afternoon, sir. I am Taufik Fatima Aderonke from Education District 6. I think, to my own understanding, okay, she's talking of the nomenclature, okay. Is someone that, okay, in Bamidele, in someone's that in procurement officer 2 that have BSc ED, when is the end of the cadre? I don't understand your question.
May I understand the question? What it's trying to say is that, you know, I said procurement is a multidisciplinary cadre. Okay. But there's a clause there that you must pass the professional exam before you can move beyond one grade level. If you have passed the professional exam and you have BSc, you can move up to grade level 17.
All right. Hussein Tawakali to Olabisi from WAPA. Mr. Otubu, sir, please, sir, what is the additional certificate an officer holding HND and PGD certificate must do in order to reach the climax?
Let me chip in something. You see, PGD is not mentioned as it's just to bridge the gap. HND holders, PGD, that PGD is for you to do your masters. BSc with PGD, you will still be placed where they are going to place BSc. You must have, it's advisable for that officer to go and do his masters before you will be recognized and you can move further. Because HND with PGD not mentioned in the scheme. But if he wants to do conversion, so the to officers cadre, what you need to do is that you need to go and do your masters. PGD, HND without master, you cannot use it to move to. Anyway, you will still be, it's only your HND that will be recognized. Because PGD is for them to bridge the gap with your HND to do your MBA or your masters, so you can use it for conversion. You cannot use, if you look at the scheme, there's nowhere in the scheme where they said HND with PGD, you can use it to move. That's why I mentioned some things, some academic qualification, professional qualification, and proficiency. So if you have HN, if you have PGD and you did not do your masters, it's like you are not true with the program that you can be qualified for the the other cadre. Because all cadres, that's why they say conversion, you must have a prerequisite of the cadre you are going to. If the cadre asks for masters and you have PGD, you cannot move.
Okay, thank you, sir. Lastly, on the chat box, Martin Nosiru, before I go to the participant that raised their hand, Martin Nosiru said, my questions are, if an officer is on grade level 12 presently, and the officer is still doing ICANN, so if the officer finally passed the ICANN, what will the officer do Is it advancement to move in the service or what?
No, you see, there's a circular that says you must have your professional qualification before you can go beyond level 14. So if you pass your ICANN, that means you have opened the gate that you can move up to grade level 17. Because if you have BSc accounting without ICANN or ANAN, by the time you get to level 14, you cannot move again. So if you pass your ICANN or ANAN, that means you have opened the gate to get to the peak of your career. So on level 12, if you just pass it, so it means you have opened the gate, you can progress, but not that they are going to use it to advance you to the next grade level. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. So let me call on. Okay, Ufoma Mumuni, your name, your ministry, your question. Unmute yourself. Ufoma.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name, your ministry.
My name is Mumini. Okay, my name is Kalu. Please, sorry. My name is Kalu Rejoice. From HSC. It's Service Commission.
Your question.
My question goes thus. When someone took an appointment, and in the process, before the appointment, the person is already in school, like 300 level in school, and now take an appointment. So by the time the person finished, you finish before your next promotion. Please, I don't know what is expected of such an individual. Is it the conversion the person is going to do, or the person is going for the promotion itself?
Now, the first question I need to ask is that if you did not inform the system that you are undergoing a program when you join the service, the certificate will not be recognized at any point.
It was informed, sir. It was informed.
Okay. If you inform the system, then you need to inform the letter of completion that you have completed the program. Then you first PMB, where you be able to write, because they need to make provision for you. You must have informed them. They will make provision for you when they are preparing the personnel budget, because at the PMB, they will ask for your vacancy before they can convert you. But if there's no provision, they may not convert you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let me just pick one or two participants more before we end the call because of time. Obawumi Rebecca. Rebecca Obawumi, unmute yourself. Obawumi, are you there? Okay, Olayemi Jibola. Olayemi Jibola.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma. Your name, your ministry.
My name is Olayemi Jobiola, Lagos State House of Assembly, Principal Legislative Council. So, my question, I know of someone who, the person acquired additional qualification. The person has masters and presented, of course, she has approval. She presented the certificates after completion, but then I'm wondering, the person was also expecting some sort of advancement. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you, but what, you don't mention the level of that officer.
The person is also a principal legislative council.
What grade level? What grade level?
GL 12.
Okay.
Level 12, yes. So so the person got masters. So I was wondering why the person wasn't advanced. Because the reply the person got is that, I mean, the person was once advanced before then. So I'm wondering, can there be two advancements? The first advancement was based on professionalism. The person is a lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
two advancements. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So you see, the way we talk about advancement, the scheme, when you're already on level 12 and you have additional qualification, they cannot advance you again. It's not seen as a legislative council alone. In the scheme, they cannot, even if you have professional qualification on that level, if you're an accountant and you're already on level 12, you now pass ANAN or ICANN, they cannot advance you without your qualification again. Once you have already passed that level, you have already passed it. That's why I said we need to align with what is in the scheme. There's no provision in the scheme that they should convert you when you have already reached level 12 or to advance you when you already reached level 12. Even if you join the service, even if you're on level 9 and you now obtain the additional qualification or masters, they cannot use it to advance you because the scheme says and mean they can advance you from 8 to 9. Let us assume when you join the service, you join with masters, you can be placed on level 9. But you said the officer is already on level 12 and you obtain additional qualification of masters on level 12. They cannot advance him to level 13. No. Thank you.
Okay. Last but not the least, Hussein Tawakalitu. Hussein Tawakalitu, unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Good
Your
afternoon,
name, your
sir.
ministry. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. You are much appreciated, Mr. Nasoya. You are doing wonderfully. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Otubu, thanks so much, sir. I was one that asked about an officer with HND and PGD certificates. In fact, he's confused. Some people were telling him to do a top-up program of 2 years. Thereafter, it goes for master's program. So that's why I'm really asking that, is it enough for him to do his master's program and reach the climax? Or he still has to do some other things so that in the future, he doesn't look at, you understand me?
What is the qualification of that officer presently?
He's in level 10.
Qualification.
HND holder.
Okay.
But he has done his PGD. Yes, sir.
So my advice for that officer, forget about the issue of that top-up. That top-up program is not recognized in the Lagos State for now. There's no circular that recognizes the top-up. It is advisable for that officer to go and do his master's and seek for approval. So you will now use your PGD and your master to do conversion to officer's cadre. Thank you.
Only that, sir?
Yes, somebody with HND, you need to do your PGD and master's before you can do your conversion.
Because he's trying to go for a direct entry to have a certificate in BSc.
Yeah, it's an option. But the easiest way, somebody with HND, go and do your PGD and your master's. You are qualified to be an officer's cadre.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Let me quickly pick Shobiye Oladimeji. Let's learn something from you. Shobiye, unmute yourself. Okay. Shobiye is not there. All right. So I think we thank Mr. Otubu for due justice to all our questions. Okay, the Telegram program. So please, we will call it a day, but as our norms here, we call on any one of the participants to appreciate our facilitator on behalf of all participants. On this note, before I call on anybody, let me see your emojis. Oh, okay. My guy is on the call. Okay, Mr. Igbason, unmute yourself, sir. Unmute yourself. We are going to do two things for us, sir. Your question, then do the vote of thanks. Unmute yourself, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Your name, your ministry, sir.
My name is Igbason, Builder Igbason Oluwatoyin Abipogun from local government, Papa Ibrahim. Sir, I want to appreciate our facilitator, Mr. Osudu, and your humble self for this wonderful knowledge hub. My question is, when we are discussing now, before the question, you said, I heard from Mr. Osudu that as a professional, if you are in level 8 or 9, and you came in as your point of entry as HND or BSc, either architecture, building, or civil, and you get a professional qualification, either foreign, Cobon, or Akon, and you now seek for conversion. You seek for conversion, and you are in level 9. Can they still use that Cobon or current for an advancement for you? That's number one. Then number two. Yes, HND order, yes.
Okay.
And you got that either Cobon or current.
Yes.
When you are 8, assuming you are level 8, at the point of your entry in service, can they use it for you when you are about going to the next grade level, which is 9? Can they use it as an advancement, or they will not use it for an advancement? That's my question.
Okay, let me answer that question. You see, when you're already on level 8, don't let us mix conversion and promotion together. You're on level 8 and you have passed your professional qualification. The best thing you can, if you are due for promotion next year, I will advise you go for your promotion first before you apply for your conversion. Because they cannot, if you miss your promotion, they cannot use that professional qualification to advance you in a sub-cadre. So it's advisable for you to do your promotion and you apply for conversion immediately after your promotion. So you move to officers cadre. That's the best thing, because they cannot use it. Somebody that is a technical officer and you have passed your professional exam, how would they use professional exam to advance you in a technical cadre? No. It's advisable to do your promotion and apply for your conversion as a professional.
Okay, sir. My second question, sorry, sir. Can I
ask your second question?
Yeah, my second question is this, sir. I want to be clear. I want to have a very clear picture of what really happened when people get into service. Some with HND and some with BSc. I want to take engineering cadre as a case study. If you have BSc building technology and HND building technology, and both of you enter the service at the same year, what is the rationale that one is having promotion earlier than the BSc service promotion before the HND? What really happened, sir?
Having promotion, we always have promotion at the same time. But what I know, what I'm trying to say is that, you see, there's a time if you have HND, your point of entry is level 7. While point of entry of BSc is on level 8. But they have harmonized everything now. Both of them will join the service on level 8. On level 8. But everything will be determined by what is in the scheme of service. That's why I said, by the time they come out with this scheme of service, they always invite the professionals to appraise the professional qualifications, to appraise whether the cadre should be allowed, what should be the point of entry for that cadre. So it's not a discretion of even of a state. It's a discretion of the head of service of different states. And they will give it to the technical committee to look into it. So what you are trying to say is that there's a time the HND will join service on level 7, while the BSc will join service on level 8. But now they have harmonized everything. Both HND and BSc will join service on level 8. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Mr. Igbason. Let me allow you to rest, Mr. Igbason, and let me call Amudat Alabi to do justice to the vote of thanks. Amudat Alabi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, your name, your ministry, question, then do vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm a deputy director at ICT Lands Bureau. My question is that I want to know whether it is possible for us to get. That is the question I want to ask. How can we get
again.
slides?
Okay,
my question is, how can we get the presentation slides?
Okay, I will send the slide to. Are you on our channel?
What channel, sir?
Telegram channel.
No, sir.
That is serious. So you should have. Okay, I've sent the Telegram channel link to the chat box. Join us. We will send the slide there immediately after the class.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
So on behalf of all the participants, I want to thank the organizer of this interesting and very beautiful and imparting knowledge up on 2026 promotion. And I pray that we all, at the end of the day, we all have causes to thank Almighty. So we thank, on behalf of everybody, I say a very big thank.
All right, I think your network is fluctuating there. Thank you very much. At the same time, if you are listening to us, check the chat box now. Click on the Telegram link and join our channel so that there you can see all the material. Once again, thank you very much, Mr. Otubu. Thank you, every one of you, for your time. I hope you enjoy your stay. And again, please stay put. By 7 o'clock, we are having another impactful class that you don't need to miss, that cut across all cadre, irrespective of your cadre. We call it ESCO memo and submission. So there you will learn how to craft ESCO memo, the mistake, the error, how to send your submission, and what have you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. God bless you. Expecting you, see you 7 o'clock. Mr. Otubu, thank you, sir.
7 o'clock. Yeah, I'm just going to the chat. Let me go and see the link. Telegram link.
Okay.
Here is our Telegram link.
I'll share it. Check the chat box. The Telegram link is there. I'll send it again and again. join it.
Okay, so download it.
So download the Telegram and start enjoy.